Hello, everybody, and thank you for listening to another episode of the Moore's October Rant series. Where I just talk about certain things that are bothering me. It can be anything. It could be from what someone said to me in a store, or, like something's going on in my personal life, or anything of that matter. And today's topic is really interesting because, it's a topic that is in the online sphere. And, you know, it's a topic that I've seen talked about a lot, and even I've talked about it over the years, and it's something that I do want to discuss. And what that is ghosting, or the act of, falling off the face of the planet when you were actually talking to somebody and they act like you don't exist or just stop talking to you. And that's happened to me many times over the years. And one of the things that drives you crazy over time is when it happens to you, you never know why it's happening, because every single person, is going to have a reason of why they do it, or why they feel like they have to stop talking to you. So every person's different. And, when you get ghosted, like, you just want to know what went wrong. Like, it's normal to want to know what went wrong and what caused that to happen. And I think sometimes we drive ourselves crazy trying to figure out why and what went wrong. And, at some point, it doesn't really matter because, they're gone and they left you alone, and they couldn't give a fuck less about you. So at some point, you have to realize what really matters. And, you know, it doesn't matter what went wrong. For them to actually ghost you, that's a very disrespectful thing to do. And it really shows you a lot about that individual. And it lets you know that they're not a very good person, because communication is a very easy thing in this world. It's easy to communicate with somebody on a basic human level and let them know that you're not interested in speaking anymore. That's a very easy thing to do. But we live in this world where people just feel like they can get rid of somebody and just stop talking to them, and it's no big deal. And you're right. No one is what is it? No one is like owed your time. Like, you don't have an obligation to talk to anybody. Like, if you talk to somebody, that should be a choice. And human interaction should be a choice. I should be on like an online Skype call, which I'm old. I used Skype before. Um, or Discord call. Like, if I'm on it with a friend, it's because they're choosing to be on that call with me. I'm not forcing them to be on it. They're doing it with their own free will. So if they don't want to be friends or like talk, that's fine. And I think a lot of people don't mind that. It's just the whole disappearing out of nowhere and not telling the person what they did wrong, or just letting them know like the issue. And I was talking to a woman who was from Brazil, and we talked for a couple of months, and we started to date. And it was over the internet, and I was going to plan on meeting her. I was buying my plane ticket in a couple of months, and I was finally going to meet her because she was my girlfriend. And she ghosted me out of nowhere. And it really hurt me because I didn't understand what I did wrong. We were having a normal conversation, and she ghosted me. So that was a very hard situation for me to handle. And I've come to the point now where I don't understand, still don't understand, I should say, why people do that. And it's really evident to me that humanity is just extremely selfish and doesn't care about what their thoughts and feelings, and like their actions, I should say, more of their actions, but like what they do to people. And it's so easy to have basic communication skills, and having basic communication skills is going to help you a lot in life, especially when it comes to relationships. And like, it's not illegal to ghost somebody, but it makes you look like an asshole. And I wouldn't recommend ghosting people because I've never really ghosted anyone in my life. If I didn't want to talk to them, I let them know straight up that I was not interested in continuing a conversation, and I let them know that this is not going to go anywhere. But I've been ghosted many times, or Like they didn't really ghost me, but it was a semi ghost. There's different levels to it. Sometimes like communication just stops randomly, and like it goes on and then it stops, and then it's every now and then it stops. But I'm talking like you're hitting it off with somebody and you really like them. Like this usually happens with people that for not that long, but you guys are really getting along. And it's a really hurtful thing to do. And I've seen videos about this topic, and one of the things that they say is that people do it because it's more convenient just to leave and just to go and take your ball and go home, as they say, because actually setting someone down, if it's in person or on the internet, and actually having a communication like with them, or conversation, not communication, but you know what I mean, communicating with them, and letting them know that this is not working out, and you'd rather not be their friend or be their boyfriend or girlfriend or wife, or like obviously you're not going to do if you're married. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but yeah, it's a really immature thing to do, and having communication skills really is a sign of maturity. And I just wish more people would be more straightforward with one another, because, it's going to keep happening. People are going to keep ghosting as long as social media exists. And people even ghost people in real life. You see them at a bar, like they're supposed to call you and then they never do after having good conversation. It's been happening for a long time, even in the real world. But one thing I've learned is you can't take it personally, because them ghosting you, it really says more about them than it does about you. There was this video I watched, and it wasn't about ghosting, but he said that when you find the right person, and the person that's right for you, that's meant for you, he said they'll show you that there was never anything wrong with you. And that's true. Because when you find the right person, they're right for you. That's why the word right's in there. So basically, yeah, if you're going through ghosting and having a lack of communication in any relationship, that's not a healthy thing. And like he said, it doesn't happen because, they make you feel wanted, and like they make you realize there was nothing wrong with you. You were just incompatible with somebody, and that goes with ghosting. If they're ghosting you, obviously you weren't right for them. And, if they ghosted you, that really just shows, again, who they are. And it really just exposes their intentions. And it really shows you how they communicate and their, like, maturity level when it comes to communication. And, sometimes you dodge a bullet because, like, I think to myself, were they going to do this the entire time? Were they this person the entire time I was talking to them? Did they have this ace up their sleeve the entire time? Like, were they planning on this, or have they done it to people before? Because I don't know anyone. I don't know. And I talk so fast, I stutter. I don't know about anyone else, but I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who, someone who doesn't really know how to communicate. It's just not something that seems like a fun time for me. But, every relationship has different dynamics, and people communicate differently. And, just because someone doesn't communicate the same way that you want them to communicate doesn't mean that they're trying to ghost you or not talk to you or whatever. But, everyone has their own way of communicating. Some communication styles don't match. Some people don't have the best communication styles when they mix. Some people will only text you like once a week, or like not really talk to you that much, especially with texting. And, some people like to text every other day, which is me. I like that. So if you're a person that texts, like all day, and then you meet someone with a different communication style, that's only texting you once a week, then obviously, you're going to feel like you're left out, or like they don't care about you. But, it's just finding a balance. Like I said, relationships all have different dynamics and what make them special. So, ghosting sucks, but really at the end of the day, there's nothing to do but move on. Like, you can't sit there and, like, you can, but like only thing you can do is wonder what went wrong and leading up to what you think went wrong. But at the end of the day, you're never really going to know the truth. I was recently ghosted by this chick from England. We hit it off on this app We talked on Instagram. We used to video message and, like video call or whatever. And, we got pretty close. We had pretty deep conversation. And, I started to get feelings for her. I let her know. She let me know that she doesn't think that we're compatible in a relationship, like romance relationship. And she said that she'd still like to be my friend and cared about me. And then a week later, she ghosted me. So, it can happen to anybody, You put yourself out there, sometimes you're going to get ghosted. So, that's my opinion on the subject and my take on it. If you like this, please subscribe, and I look forward to making more of these. I just have to find more topics and find something else to talk about. But when I do find another topic, I will make another video, and I look forward to making another video soon. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love making these, and stay positive out there, guys. Stay positive.